It was July 20th, 1969, and 350 million people around the world were glued to their televisions. What they were watching was a grainy, black and white image of something never seen before: a human being on the moon. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Those words echoed through the ages, forever linking one moment in time with the birth of an era of space exploration. But NASA's story began long before that. It began in 1915, when a group of scientists met in a Washington, D.C. hotel room to discuss ways to improve aviation. Their findings would be used to develop technologies that powered planes through 2 world wars and broke the sound barrier with the X-planes. And it was this quiet revolution that set the stage for the great space race of the 1960s. But to understand how NASA changed the world, we have to go back to the beginning. The National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA, was created in 1915 to advance aviation through scientific research. Back then, airplanes were still considered a novelty, and the U.S. government wanted to ensure the country wasn't left behind. At first, NACA consisted of just a handful of scientists and engineers who worked out of a converted stable on the grounds of the U.S. Army's McCook Field in Ohio. Their work focused on improving the design of aircraft and engines. But as the years passed, their responsibilities grew. In 1926, NACA established the first wind tunnels to test the aerodynamics of aircraft, and in 1939, the first full-scale wind tunnel to test entire aircraft designs. These tests were crucial in improving the safety and efficiency of aircraft, allowing planes to fly faster and farther than ever before. NACA's work also led to the development of the first jet-powered aircraft and the first ballistic missiles. During World War II, NAC's research helped Allied aircraft and pilots perform better in the face of enemy fire, while carrying heavier loads across longer distances at higher speeds. After the war, commercial and military aviation took off. Commercial jets were introduced in the 1950s, and by the end of the decade, supersonic flight had become a reality. Through it all, NACA continued to push the boundaries of aviation, working closely with aircraft manufacturers to improve engine performance and exploring new materials and designs. Then came the X-planes. These experimental aircraft were designed to test new technologies and pave the way for future aircraft. One of the most famous X-planes is the Bell X-1, which broke the sound barrier in 1947. The success of the X-plane program was a testament to the power of scientific research and the dedication of the men and women who made it happen. But NACA's work was about to take on a whole new dimension. On October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union launched the world's first artificial satellite into orbit. This event, known as Sputnik 1, shocked the United States and triggered what would become known as the space race. Suddenly, the Soviets had the ability to deliver objects into space and even strike targets on the ground with deadly accuracy. The U.S. government knew it had to act fast. On July 29, 1958, President Dwight Eisenhower signed the National Aeronautics and Space Act, establishing the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. With the support of Congress and the President, NACA was transformed into NASA. It aimed to push aeronautics forward and explore space. On October 1, 1958, NASA officially came into existence, combining the deep aeronautical expertise of NACA with the bold new mission of space exploration. The agency's first administrator, T. Keith Glennon, set about building a new organization that could carry out this ambitious mission. He recruited top talent from across the country and around the world, including many former NACA employees. Together, they would form the backbone of NASA's future endeavors. The early years of NASA were marked by a sense of urgency and determination. The space race was on, and the United States was determined to catch up to and surpass the Soviets. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy challenged the nation to land a human on the moon and return them safely to Earth by the end of the decade. This audacious goal galvanized the country and focused the efforts of thousands of brilliant minds at NASA. Over the next 8 years, NASA made remarkable progress. In 1961, Alan Shepard became the first American to be launched into space. In 1962, John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth. In 1963, the first prototype spacecraft for the Apollo program was launched successfully. Finally, on July 20, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to walk on the moon. Since then, NASA has accomplished many other incredible things. It launched the Space Shuttle, sent probes to outer planets, and changed astronomy with Hubble. In recent years, NASA has set its sights on Mars, with several successful rover missions that have explored the red planet's surface in search of signs of ancient life. Today, NASA continues to push the boundaries of exploration and discovery. With exciting new missions on the horizon, including the launch of the James Webb Space Telescope and the return of astronauts to the Moon aboard the Space Launch System. The journey that began in a small office with a handful of scientists has transformed our understanding of the universe and our place within it. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.